One of the biggest things that I see newer producers struggling with is transitioning from one section of their song to the other that sounds smooth and natural. So I'm going to take an example, a rather extreme example of transitioning from one section to the other, and I'm going to show you all the elements that you'll need to make those types of transitions smoother and feel a little bit more natural. And if you guys go on to like this video, be sure to check out sonicacademy.com. We have thousands of hours of great content for EDM producers to learn any genre you could think of from really world-class instructors. Go check it out if you haven't already. Okay, so here is the track transition with no transition effects applied at all. And transition. It's really abrupt and jarring, and it doesn't really, there's no warning that it's going to happen. And you don't want to freak your listeners out, right? We want to warn them. Like people like surprises, but they like to know surprises are coming, right? So here are all the different elements. We're going to walk through them one at a time. First one I'm going to start with is the sweep. And you guys probably already know this one. A sweep is a great way to signal that something's coming. It builds tension. It builds anticipation. And when you do that, it doesn't always have to be in the build-up for your song before the drop. It could be throughout any section, even transitions within the drop. So right here, we're hearing the sweep come in. You can hear, like, it signals something's going to happen, right? So even then, it still doesn't really complete everything, and that's why we have a couple more elements to go through. The next one is the sub drop. I like using this one a lot. This one's doesn't work in all transitions. Sometimes if you got a bass there, it'll clash with that bass, so you want to make sure that you're aware of that. But this is a great sort of exclamation point at the end of that build. This is sort of like a mini build-up. You can hear like that signals that, all right, we've ended, about to go into the next part. Okay? So just like our sweep before, we can add another sweep in that little gap. You can see we have a little gap here. So I've added a second sweep in here. And that sort of adds a little bit of extra tension in that little space there. The next part is a drum fill. And we've got two separate drum fills here, but they're both important and they both play a good part here. So I've got a snare roll that's sort of playing a little bit ahead. I'm actually going to bring this out a little bit further. We've got claps on every beat here, so let's play it back from the top. So these claps come in. And then that tom fill right here. I use that tom fill all the time. I love that one. Shout out to Crane for the great samples. And then this little drum fill here. So all of those combined, it really starts to connect those two pieces together, right? We've built the tension, we've put a stop to the tension, and then filled it in with some new drum sounds that kind of build up the energy a little bit. And the last thing is something that most people forget, and that's what happens after the build-up and the drum fill. And usually, you don't need this all the time, especially if you've got something really huge, but I noticed that a lot of times if you have a lot of sweeps and risers and stuff, when they don't really go into anything, if there's nothing that follows those sweeps and risers, it can kind of also feel abrupt and jarring. So I've connected this white noise crash. It's really simple. It's not really complex or anything, but it just kind of adds that extra little bit of brightness and ambiance to it. So let's play it all together with all of our elements and listen to it in context. There's a riser there. Those claps come in. Sub drop. And you can kind of hear that really fills out that space and sort of connects those two sections together, and that's what transition effects do. So I hope you guys learned something. Remember, if you did, consider clicking like on this video and subscribing to Sonic Academy. And be sure to check out sonicacademy.com for a bunch of courses on how to do stuff like this in way more detail across all different types of genres. If you guys haven't been there, go check it out. We'll see you guys over there. Peace.
Thanks everyone for watching. We really appreciate all the support from you guys. If you love this video, then smash a like. And if you want to be notified about new videos, hit the subscribe and notification buttons.